I'm here in beautiful Cobb County, Georgia, scouring all of the local antique malls to see if I can score any sports card deals. I have no idea what to expect, so let's get inside and see what they've got. All right, we walk right in the door and there's a showcase immediately. I didn't necessarily expect to see that, and obviously it's surrounded by all kinds of other really cool eclectic stuff. So we got some Pokemon, we got some sports cards, and what I like to do is just do a price check on one, just pick a card. So here, let's take a look at this Steelix, for example. And this is the Steelix Illustration Rare. You know, I'm starting to learn a little more about Pokemon, so I've got it pulled up in Market Movers, and much to my surprise, honestly, $25 is like right in line with the 30-day average of $27.36. There's another one here that I want to look at, and that's this Metagross. This one actually, really cool one. They've got it at $26. So I can just type this in. And I know sports cards, but again, we've got some here. Market Movers does have a lot of Pokemon card data in it. In fact, pretty much all of the Pokemon cards are tracked in here. So this one, they've got it $26. More like a $20 average. What's crazy right now is the multiplier on Pokemon cards. A PSA 10, $186, whereas a 9, $30. So you're really swinging for the gem mint on these. This one I can already see a little bit off center. In fact, quite a bit off center. Left to right, some more this way. We're looking at like 30, 70 almost on that border. So you know it wouldn't get a 10, but that's really interesting. They've got some loose packs. They've got lots of sports cards down here. So this Acuna, this is just a chrome Acuna. I thought at first this was one of those 3Ds, but doesn't look like it. We got a Ladd McConkey, so they're definitely playing to the local crowd, the local Georgia crowd here with this McConkey. So let's see on their sports card pricing. In fact, I can look up this McConkey. I'm fairly confident we would have that card actively tracked in Market Movers, and if not, it's definitely going to be in our sales history data. The teal doesn't look like it actually has any sales data, which is interesting. The raw, looking at the last 30 days, no real sales, so $10 definitely high on the sports card. Then they got a lot of value bins here too. So let's see if there's anything in here. Dalton Connect. There's a Luis Garcia auto, not the most notable name, but pretty cool. It's nice that it's, you know, every card is priced too. You don't have to play any guessing games. Obviously, if you're sort of leaving these in an antique mall, you can't expect the employees who manage everything here to be your price broker, so there's not going to be really any negotiation a lot of times on this stuff. There's Luis Robert. So, we might swing back here and see if anything else jumps out. Got one of the nice employees who's unlocked the showcase for us, so I might keep scouring through the window, but let's keep moving through and see what else we can find. All right, so one of the nice things too about being an antique mall is not only can I shop for cards for myself and my boys, I can also find awesome things that my wife is after, like this dual moose jacket. You thought Color Blasts were cool? Check out this coat. I might have to come back for this. Unfortunately, not really her size, but I might have to score something for the missus too. You know, happy wife, happy life. All right, they also have these Absolute Football. These are the value packs. So you get 12 of these inside here. And obviously the big chase, really the only main chase anyway, is the Kaboom. So Kaboom chasing in there, if you're in the appetite for that, $95, right on par with the most recent sale. If I go to the last 30 days, averaging about $86, but not a bad price at all on that. I kind of thinking about bringing something home to my boys to rip, and that $100 price point isn't bad. We're coming up on fall break, and you know, maybe a little surprise for them if they mind their P's and Q's and treat their mom with respect. I'm talking to you, Roman. All right, I want to talk about something I just realized. So little Panini deception maybe here, or at least lack of clarity. I noticed the box didn't say anywhere on it like Chase Kabooms or anything like that. So I wanted to know, can I get Kabooms out of these packs? One of the easiest ways to do that, just go to YouTube and look up the product and type in the word that you're looking for, like the Chase, and see if anything comes up. So I scroll through this. I do see people saying Kaboom hunting, but I keep scrolling down. I want to see someone actually hit one. And I see, here's Wayne Collection saying watch before you buy, and here's Sky B Cards. When I clicked on his video, one thing that YouTube does now that's really cool, you can click into the comments and click summarize this video. And as I scroll down, you can see he notes, the packaging states that kabooms cannot be pulled, but explosive case hits are possible. So you can get explosives, which are valuable. They're sort of like knockoff kabooms. They have a market for them, maybe still worth chasing, but definitely important to know what you're getting into. Do a little bit of research before you spend $100. Probably gonna pass. All right, found some loose value bins here. TCG, I'm not gonna waste a ton of your time here, except that I kind of started to geek out because I found Star Wars Unlimited cards. Big fan, foil, Spark of Rebellion, Yoda. If you're looking to complete like master sets, you know, this stuff, 3 for $1, definitely priced reasonably to come in here and kind of fill in some of your set gaps. And if you want to see me sometimes, but mostly Nick from the TCG side of our card shop at Cards HQ, make sure to check out TCG HQ channel. Really cool stuff over there. Jeff competed recently for his first time ever in a TCG Star Wars Unlimited tournament at the shop. So definitely go check that channel out, but not before you finish this video. All right, so this place is 10 minutes from my house. I've lived here for 3.5 years and I've never been in here. And there's like literally an entire card shop in the back of here, cards and memorabilia. I did not know that this was here. I could be wrong, but I think this is where Ryan and Carter briefly had their own little booth set up inside of this antique mall. I'm gonna have to check with Ryan, but I know it was in this area. There's stuff everywhere. Look, we got Chipper, PSA 10 on the 2. We got the Griffey rated rookie Donruss. There's tons of stuff here. I'm gonna have to go through all of these and see if I can find anything. I've been pretty impressed so far with the pricing on this stuff. Some of the other antique malls that I've just run into cards, you know, over time, they tend to be like 3 times the cost of what they should be. Probably just hoping somebody buys them, or maybe they don't know themselves how to price stuff, but everything's looked good so far, so I'm gonna price some of this out. We'll see if I can find anything. This jumped out at me. Why? The 1987 Fleer sticker Jordan. Why? Because my buddy Justin, if you saw the video when he came in with all of his binders from his childhood, he had one of those in a screw down. And looking at that, I was like, $45. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I think the reason is the seller's being, you know, realistic with the condition of the card. And just looking at it from the surface out here, not even seeing the back, my guess is that's about a PSA 5. If I tap this, you can see there is a big price spike here. Recently, the most recent daily average was $163. However, this card's more in the like 60 to 85, you know, maybe $90 range raw, but condition means everything. Those recent 2 sales that sold on eBay were actually very good condition, which is why somebody probably paid up for them. I can tap this grade selector open and see all of these different grades. PSA 10, there's only 24 of these, $66,000. PSA 9, $2,500. It's not going to do that. But even in PSA 5 condition, $85 for this card. So $45 raw, grade it for $25. If it gets a 5, you're getting decent value out of it. If it happens to squeak out a 6, you're talking about a card that's now worth $128. I don't think it does any better than that, but it's an interesting one. I mean, it's a very iconic card. Maybe not bad, not worth, you know, maybe worth taking a shot on. I'm gonna keep looking around, but that's a really interesting one. The other thing I noticed here, definitely the seller is listing based on condition, which is smart. That's a very practical thing to do, because the one on the left here is $60, the one on the right is $30, and I can see like a crease and a major edge problem, as well as a top left corner problem on the one on the right. So he's pricing according to condition. You want one for your PC, you can get a little bit of discount if you don't mind it being a little bit chewed up. Honestly, it's not that off-putting if you just wanted one of those raw cards as the nostalgia from your childhood. From an investability perspective, I think grading any of these cards, you know, for the long term is a good idea, but you don't need to own grade cards. I have mostly raw cards in my collection, so that's perfectly fine. Both of those are really cool to see too.
Today's Market Movers video is sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot has live auctions of all kinds of sports and trading cards every day and night, starting at just $1 for packs, boxes, breaks, singles, and more. It's a ton of fun, and if you scan the QR code on your screen or use the special link in our show description below, you'll get $15 in free credit when you sign up for Whatnot.
We got the value bins here. We got loose packs. We got all kinds of just different cards. I used to have one of these when I was a kid. That's funny. When you have cards like this and you can set up a value box somewhere, that's honestly the best thing you can do to try to move these cards. In Cards HQ's value bins move really well. Everything's priced at 50 cents. Really tough to make it work to sell those types of cards on eBay. And then even sending to ComC doesn't work because it's a minimum of 65 cents a card for a card that might be 50 cents. It's not going to work. But if you're able to put stuff in a value box and target collectors who like to have those cards and build out their sets and things, that's the best bet. I'm going to keep flipping through some of these and see if there's anything worthwhile. But I'm just really impressed. Here's a Ray Allen rookie. That is a rookie card. That's 1996. Yes, it is. Ray Allen rookie base. You know, not bad. All-time great shooter. All right, I don't know what's going on here. We got Sylvester kind of in a concerning pose with Nolan Ryan behind him, but hologram technology in the 90s. Upper Deck went full bore into it. I think it's amazing. It never really quite stuck around. Like some people who were, in the 90s really like it, but everybody else is kind of like, man, we'll see. I think it'd be fun if Topps or Panini or anybody would bring back some more of the holograms. Put it into a set. All right, I gotta get a couple of these tins for my boys. This is the right price point. These are probably a little high because 2021's draft class was so bad. Not draft class, but rookie class for baseball. It's basically Scooble and that's it. But you do have Casey Mize rookies in here too. So, I gotta get a Javi. Yes, he's in the Cubs uni, but he's been pretty good for us this year, up and down. But hey, we're, doing okay. And then I got to get the Acuna. So we're going to get one of each of these. Love the Braves, love the Tigers. Take these home, my boys will be really happy. That one's got a little ding on the edge. Okay, look at the other one. The other one is $5 more, which is probably why the seller knew that the condition was a little better. Oops. That one's a little off center, so definitely fair pricing on all these Pokemon cards for the raw condition that they're in. I think those were the only ones. I guess I can look at the Blastoise too. Centering looks good enough, I think, on top to bottom. All right, I'm good on these ones. And I am for sure getting one out of the showcase over here. It's gonna be that gold one there, that 55. Yep, exactly. That's the one. Thank you very much. All right, so I found this Lapras in here. This is a promo ultra premium collection. This one is PSA 10. These have been going for about $90 to $95 recently. This one's $55, so definitely a really good deal. Pick that one up and maybe take it back to the shop. We'll see. All right. You may or may not know about this ridiculous Labubu craze right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, Labubus, this is your future. This is your ancestor. Beanie Babies. These things were cool. They had their moment in the sun. But you see bins full of Labubus in the future. Careful, because my knees, I don't even know how to squat. To be totally honest, I don't really do it. I can't bend my knee too much. I know how ridiculous that looks, but. All right. Hey, BCW. Is this your next manufacturing? These metal squeakers. Do you think your cards would hold up in here? I guess if they were top loaded, pretty sturdy. Put this in. Whew. Imagine you're trying to sneak in to your room at night and just spend a little time with your top loaded cards and just, your wife's just laying there going, what are you doing? BCW, let's see it. All right, this thing stopped Rob, our producer, in our tracks, both of us. This is not out of Fallout. This is not out of Halo. This is a Japanese World War II military machine gun camera. That is insanely cool, insanely cool. This is a problem. When you get into places like this, you just see all this crazy history, all these things you've never seen before. $2,200, that or add to my card collection, but really cool piece. That would definitely be like a statement piece on a shelf at home. All right, one other thing is I love Tiffany lamps. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I love Tiffany lamps, but even more than that, I love a good pull string. That's the sound, the light, the satisfaction. It's like when you're 2 and you can't help but just want to like see how everything works. This one, pretty satisfying. This side's better. I'm gonna give it a 7.8 out of 10 on the pull strings. Look, Madden 95, are you kidding me? This is for Genesis. I had this on my PC growing up. I played all the Madden games on my PC. I'd always beg my parents, can I play for an hour? Can I play for 30 minutes? Just throwing post routes even as a 10-year-old. All right, first of all, let's evaluate the colors. Very nice. I like the pattern, I like the colors here, but the real question is, oh, it's a little tough. I think I loosened it up. Gotta try the other side. Oh, that one's even, no. Needs some WD-40 up in there. It's a bad pull, that's a 3/8.
G.I. Joe? G.I. Joe? Are you kidding me?
All right, not a Tiffany lamp. And it's not plugged in, but I do see a pull string. Ooh, it's a little light. It's a lightweight pull, which isn't always a bad thing, but it just doesn't have that gravity that, oh, that one's defective. That one's just that's a hyperextended, like my knee right now. But I'm gonna give that a 4.6, nothing impressive. All right, we've jumped over just about a half mile down the road to Big Shanty Antique Mall. We're gonna go check out and see what's inside. All right, lots of complete sets here. Lots of complete sets. $25, $35. You guys remember Justin had sealed sets when he came in of 89 Upper Deck, and you know, not my market, not really what I'm after. I do wonder, I'd like to talk to, the vendors, like, does this stuff move? Do they sell? I don't really know, but lots of vintage stuff. Look at these fans. Look at these 90s fans. So 90s. I thought that was Ice Cube for a minute, but yeah, just nostalgia. The hair, unbelievable. All right, we got some stuff in here. We got the Jeter SP, $250. Let's check that on Market Movers. It's raw, major condition sensitivity. Like, prices on that are gonna be all over the place. Let's look. PSA 8, he wants $250 raw. And those are going for about $90 to $100 raw. So unless that baby's in really stellar condition, it would have to grade basically an 8. And those are tough grades. Tough grades. There are a lot of 8s, almost 10,000 8s. 9s, only 633. 10s, that's why it's $324,000. Pop 22. Whew. Those Jeters. All right, we got a Jordan Base Ultra. Let's see. Kobe. That's not $35 raw. Yeah. That's kind of what you expect. All right, let's check this one out. Whoa. That's abrasive. No. And it's making the china vibrate. It's too much for me. That's a 2.6. All right. This thing's got some size to it. Doesn't have the right pull. Oh, that's smooth. The sound. It's musical. A little more tension on the other side. That's a nice pull. That one's gonna be it's an 8.5. All right, that does it for this week's video. I didn't find any major hits in the sports cards, but there was way more to look at than I anticipated. I did find these two legends from Monstropolis, and the moral of the story here is, if you've got antique malls in the area, don't be scared to spend an afternoon looking around. You might find some sweet pull strings on the lamps or some great sports or Pokemon cards. Until next time, happy investing, keep on collecting, and make sure to have fun.